Hi. Hello. Good evening, fam. I see your chats. Hello, Ubong 18. Yeah, it's been a while. How have you been? Hi, Chido Prince. How are you? Hope they went well. Tosin Animashaho. I hope you're well. It's good to have you here. Who else do I see here? Salam David. Salem. I learned to pronounce that well. I trust you're well. Can you see me? Can you hear me? If you can, please drop it in the chats. Apologies for coming on late. Hey, Mr. Lucky Nathan. It's good to have you here. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, you can see me, Tosin. I see that you've commented. Good evening. It's going to be a very wonderful night. It's a topic that is very close to my heart, that hits home a lot. So I hope that we are going to do justice to it, and that by the time we are done, you will get the clarity that you need to further your life in instability. All right. Welcome everyone to Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. This is our 31st episode, and I'm so happy to be hosting this and to have you on here. Um, it's going to be an amazing night, as always. As always, welcome. If this is your first time, then if this is your first time joining this conversation, you're very welcome. And if you are an old-time member, welcome back to Honest Conversations with Chinevo. Now take the link that you have, copy the link and share with your circle. Right? Anybody that you know that is a student, please share this with them. I mean, it's going to benefit everybody, but I'm very specific about students, especially Nigerian students, students in Nigerian universities. Just take this link and share with your circle, okay? Get every youth that you know to watch this. It will be the best gift you'll be giving them this week, this maybe this year probably. So get them to join. I promise you, it's going to be worth your time. If you've been joining this conversation, you know that we don't waste time here. Like every moment spent here counts and is very valuable. Okay, so take the link and share with your friends. Let's get everyone to join. I'm doing that right now. All right, that's exactly what I'm doing. Whew. If you've done it, come back and let me know that you've done it. I am so excited. We'll be discussing balance, balance, finding balance. Well, creating balance in your life. What is balance? What is balance not? Why do you need balance? And how exactly do you create this balance that we are talking about? Okay, these are what we'll be focusing and discussing today. What balance is not, what balance is, why you need balance, the elements of balance, how you can create balance in your life, especially as a student that has dreams, right? We are in Nigeria, and the average youth in Nigeria is very visionary. The average youth in Nigeria, in Nigerian universities, are very visionary. Is very visionary. You know, they have somewhere that they want to get aside their academic pursuits, and it can be really daunting to, you know, effectively manage yourself in a way that every part of your life is functioning well, in a way that no part of your life feels like you're paying attention to it. Okay. If you were affected, if you're a Nigerian student, if you're a student in Nigerian university and you were affected by this ASU strike, I'm on your matter this night. I mean, you are the focus of my attention this night. If you're affected, if you were at home for 8 months plus, you are my center of focus this night, because since February till September, we weren't doing anything. I was also affected, all right? That is why I have you at heart. I was also affected. And within that period of strike, many people, many young people got busy with their lives, to be honest. Many young people started, putting out projects, they started going for their dreams. So many of them started, creating businesses, creating courses, charting courses for their lives outside education. And that is really, really beautiful and phenomenal. But then, 8 months after or into the strike, we got a news that we are called back to school. For someone like me that have spent hundreds of thousands building a life outside school. So when we were called back, it was more like, how do I make this switch from here back to school? How do I become a student again? Like, how do I learn to be a student again? It was very difficult. It is very difficult. But if your goal is to achieve balance in your life, you will understand that you cannot afford not to pay attention to the things that matter to you, especially as a student. Yes, the ASU strike was a transformation period for many people. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. I remember in my department group when the strike was called off, they were like, some people were like, can this strike just be shifted for maybe 2 more months? Even me, I was not ready to go back to school. I was not ready because I already started a program, JPEB, that I was going to use to enter 200 level next year. I'd already paid for that in full. So calling us back to school at that point meant that I would waste the hundreds of thousands I paid in registering for that JPEB, and I did. I had to let that one go. You understand? Because I needed to come back to school and continue from where we stopped. All right. So making that switch from not worrying about school, not worrying about tests and assignments and exams, making that switch to now you having lectures back to back. I don't know how it is in your school, but in my school, Unilag, we're having lectures back to back, tests back to back, examination is fast approaching. So, and you already built a life outside school, outside your academics. So it is a struggle for you to keep on showing up, especially for those of us that are in the social media world. It is difficult for so many people to still show up, but still focus on their academics. They are not able to find that balance. That is why I am here. So if you are on this table, or if you are in this category that I just described, if you are like me, this is going to help you a lot. Okay, so before I go into everything that I have to say today, take this link, share with your friends, and let us get started. Okay, take this link, share with your friends, let us get started. It deserves, no Nigerian student deserves to miss out on this session, to be honest. Not because it's Chinaza Favour or because it's me or anything, no. Because it's a conversation that we really, really need to have. It's a conversation that, it's a question that many students are asking, but they cannot find the answers to it, right? And it's only someone who is in it that can actually point us to where the answer is. Because when you invite or when you seek the counsel of someone who was not even affected by the strike, the person will not understand it. They'll be like, do it like this, do it like this. The person will be talking from abstract experience, of abstract knowledge. But when the person is in the system, they can tell you what they are doing differently so that all of us can actually live a stable life. Okay, it's really difficult. It's really, really difficult. Hello, Esther. Hey, darling. How are you? Mela de Francis. Finding balance is truly not easy. It's as important. It's an important conversation. Yes, it is, because I've looked to see someone say it, but nobody is. And honest conversations, we talk about those things that are usually not mainstream topics of conversation, right? Those in yes, terrible divided attention, like terrible, terrible. Hello, Emanuela, our head of welfare department. We've not seen you for a while or in a while. Thanks for coming today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have you shared the link? I'm trying to share the link right now, but okay. Take the link, and share. You that went to private school, going back to federal university is scary. I feel you. I can only imagine, because I didn't go to a private school. I can only imagine. The Lord is the strength of every Nigerian student in a federal university at this point. I remember when when we had just resumed, and we were told that we are starting exams immediately. Your exams is in 3 weeks. My brain just shut off like this. I did not know what to do. Like for some days, I was almost like a mad person, but nobody would know because I keep showing up online. Is it my network or is it Esther's network? She said she can't, that my network is not friendly. I know mine keeps, what is it called now? It keeps loading. I don't know why it does that, but it just keeps loading. And when it loads like that, it doesn't get clear. But please let me know. Can you all see me, or is it Esther's network? Is it manageable? Please let me know. Telling them now we are live. I joined the conversation. Okay. It's also freezing. It's my network. So what do I do right now? Okay, Manuela can see and hear me clearly. So it's Mr. Lucky says it's not bad. Why is it divided? I don't want this. I got Wi-Fi, but if I connect it's just not working. It just doesn't work. I guess we'll just continue. The audio is very clear, but the video is freezing. Okay, give me 1 minute. I don't know. Can you still see me, please? I just don't know why the network is just misbehaving. My voice is clear and I'm not stable. And my beautiful face is not showing. Oh my goodness. How we go take do this one now? I've come back to watch previous replays and I didn't really enjoy it, because I always come back to watch the replays of honest conversations, no matter how long it takes. Yeah, immediately I go off, I watch the replays again. I don't know why, but I just like receiving feedback or giving myself feedback. It's okay, right? Okay, let's just continue because we don't have all day to spend, right? Even if it's just the audio, because I can't seem to be able to figure out why my network is misbehaving, why it keeps loading and loading. I can see it from my end, it's loading, it keeps loading. It will show and then it will load, and that interrupts the network or the visuals. But let's just get started, okay? So welcome to this episode of Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. Let's discuss balance. I wanted to write as a title, balance is not equal to equality. I couldn't find the option to write equal. When you know how you write equal, but then you write a slant stroke on top of it. Balance is not equal to equality. So I'm going to start with a principle that I learned in secondary school. So when I was in secondary school, there was this experiment that we used to have as science students. It's called moment. I love physics. I loved being a science student. You know, so there was this particular experiment. It's called moment. It is a kind of experiment where you have a pivot. A pivot is like something triangular like this, a triangular wood, right? Or any material at all that is triangular in nature. And then you get a 100 centimeter ruler. We call it, but for context and for you to understand, because I'm talking to a Nigerian audience, you get a 100 centimeter rule. The ruler is very long, is long. So the goal of that experiment is for you to find a place for balance. So ordinarily, it is a 100-meter rule, 100 centimeter rule, 100 cm rule. So the balance, the center of gravity is supposed to be at the 50 cm mark, or you're supposed to balance the rule or the ruler on the 50 cm mark. That is what is ideal. That is what would have made sense. But I have found that a number of time, even without anything, because at some point we'll be keeping weights on the ruler and then recording where the balance is at every point. So when we get the ruler without any weight on it and we try to balance it on the pivot, it is rarely ever on the 50 cm mark. Rarely ever on the 50 cm mark. Okay? Now, that is one side. If you get a 50 gram, or 100 gram, or let's say 500-gram weight, and you drop it on one end of the ruler and you try to balance it with other weights from the other end, you will see that it still will not be the 50 cm mark. With every weight that you add on the other end of the ruler, the center of balance, or the balance changes. The mark on which or at which the ruler remains balanced, that is, it doesn't tilt on one side or the other. At any point where it doesn't fall is, yes, fulcrum. Yes. So at that point, every weight that you put on that ruler keeps adjusting. More weight, different points on the CM mark. But in the end, all you want to achieve is wholeness. The sum of clockwise moments has to be equal to the sum of anti-clockwise moments, right? The sum of the clockwise moments that go this way, of anti-clockwise moments that go this way, have to be equal. So in the end, all you're just trying to achieve is wholeness, is just to get a complete number that you can say, okay, this is where we are even. But it doesn't mean that wholeness or that whole number you're looking for doesn't have to be at the 50 cm mark. It doesn't have to be equal. It doesn't have to be equal. Why did I bring this up? Because when we hear balance, in our lives, all we think of is giving equal attention to every part of our lives. And that is not balance. Okay? That is not balance. Balance is giving the necessary attention to every part of your life, not equal attention to every part of your life. You cannot say, I'm going to give 50, I'm going to give 50% of my time to this, 50% of my time to this, 50% of my time to this. Everything is all going to be summed up into 100. So how do you want to divide your time equally to meet all parts of your life? So even if you're going to give 20% to every part of your life, how do you want to do it? How exactly do you want to do it? Balance is about giving the necessary attention to every part of your life. How does this relate to Nigerian students or you as an individual who wants to achieve stability in your life? Cannot be everywhere at once. You cannot divide your energy equally to every part of your life. So we have physical, we have spiritual, we have social, we have psychological, we have intellectual, parts of your life. And you cannot give them equal attention. You cannot. You only give them the attention that they require for that time. Does this make sense to anybody? How does this relate to you as a student, as a student in a Nigerian university who has dreams, who has been showing up before the ASU strike? Before the ASU strike was called off. So someone sent me a message, Ma, I see how you show up online, but I'm finding it difficult to show up the way you do online. This and that. I said, no, I am not the standard for you. I am doing what I know is right for me. I am doing what I know is beneficial and necessary for me. For you, it might mean different thing. For you, balance might mean a totally different thing. So you want to keep showing up online. You want to continue building your business. You want to continue inspiring your audience. That is really, really beautiful. But you are now a student. You are back to being a student, which means that you have one huge responsibility and task before you that you must not fail. You must not fail as a student. You must not fail as a student. And for so many of us, we spend so much time creating content, planning, strategizing for our social media pages and our businesses and the brand that we're building. We spend so much time on it that we don't even have time to study. Like, it doesn't even come to our minds. It doesn't even come to our conscious minds that we have tests, that we have academic works to do. And at the end of the day, you see that, yeah, your social media life is doing well, is booming, but your academic life is suffering. All I'm going to share with you today, I hope you're going to make good use of it. And to kickstart this, I want you to understand, like, if you understand this thing I'm going to share with you right now, I think my work is done. Even if I don't say any other thing again, I think my work is done. You must understand that every phase of your life requires or comes with different sets of priorities. Whew, yeah, glad I said that. Every phase of your life comes with different sets of priorities, which means that what was most important to you in February or before the strike was called off is not what will be most important to you right now that you're back to school. Because at the end of the day, I was telling a friend of mine today, I said, I was in the library. I'm going to tell you how my day went, but I'm coming. I was in the library when when I put out an announcement about this conversation. And so she was like, Chinaza, are you not? I said, I'm coming. Let me just post this and continue reading. Because at the end of the day, if I fail my exams or if I fail my courses, it is not social media. It is not the brand I'm building that will come and save me. It is just a part of my life, not my whole life in general. And I am choosing to understand and to teach myself every chance I get that my priorities have to change. The way it is not the way I showed up from February till now or till September that I'm going to show up from November till December now that my exams are close. My priorities have to change. This is a different phase of my life, a different season of my life. And no part of my life has to suffer, but I have to make sure to give necessary attention to different aspects. I'm going to tell you how you can create balance in your life. Okay? But why do you need balance? It's simply to achieve stability. That is just the main thing. You need balance. I'm so sorry about this video that is not clear. I can't do anything about it at the moment. I'm so sorry. It My network used to be very good, but these days I just don't understand. So you strive for balance because you need stability in life. You need what? Stability in your life. You don't want to be exhausted. You don't want to, at the end of the day, be filled with regrets. Had I known, I would have done this differently. I would have done that differently. I was telling a friend of mine the other day, I said, I'm so jealous of all the people that have graduated, all those ones that are writing their last paper or that are, going for their services or are done with school. I'm just so jealous of them because they don't have to worry about school unless they want to further the academics, right? But me now, I have lots of things on my head to do. I have lots of responsibilities and tasks to perform. So if I don't take care, I'm going to get overwhelmed with all the many things that I have to do, looking at them. Because I have learned to unburden my tasks from my head to paper so that I can even get clarity at all, so that my head can breathe for what it's worth. Even when I look at them on paper, I'm exhausted already. How do I even get started on all these things? But when I get to showing you how to strive for balance or how to create that balance in your life, you're going to see exactly how to, manage your life effectively. But I need you to understand that every phase of your life comes with different sets of priorities and responsibilities. And it is very wrong for you to maintain the same sets of priorities that you had before you got into this new phase of your life. What you valued 2 months ago is not what you value right now, especially because you are a student. And if your school is like mine, you are nearing exam. So what is most important to you? What is most important to you? There are a few elements of balance, and I'm going to share them with you. The first element of balance is clarity. Clarity. We want to achieve balance. I've established that balance is not equality. It's not giving your energy or the same energy to every part of your life, but giving the required energy to different parts of your life. Some parts of your life will even require 70% attention, while some will require 10%, some might require 5% attention. You don't give 70, 70, 70, 70. You will even be exhausted by the time you are done going through one or two. Okay, The first thing that you need to create balance, or the first element that is required in creating balance in your life, is clarity. Clarity. What do you want for your life? Where are you going? Awareness. Where am I right now? Where was I? Where am I? And where am I going? This will help you to determine what season you are in. Now, this is on a general note. For those of you that are not Nigerian students or students in Nigerian universities, this is on a general note. What season are you in right now? Clarity. And where are you going from here? When you're able to answer this question, you've gotten one thing sorted. Clarity of thought, clarity of vision, clarity of state of being, clarity of times and season, clarity of direction, clarity of purpose. Am I making sense? If I'm making sense, please drop in the comments that I am making sense. This is very, very important. Clarity. The second ingredient or element that you need is will. Will. When you're able to see where you are right now and you see where you are going, do you have the will to go there? Do you have the will to do what it will take for you to get there? Do you have the will? Because if you don't have the will, there's so much that you can do. You can only do so much. As I see your comments, making sense. There's only so much that you can do if you are not willing to do what it will take for you to get to where you want to get to. So clarity, will, willingness. Let me say that. Let me put it like that. Willingness. Okay. The third one is discipline. You cannot achieve clarity. You cannot achieve balance in your life or stability in your life without discipline. In fact, it is the bedrock of everything that you want to achieve. The bedrock of everything. If you are not disciplined enough, if you're not willing to discipline yourself, if you're not ready to discipline yourself, forget about creating balance in your life. You're going to continue flopping. You're going to continue being exhausted at the end of the day. You're going to continue being overwhelmed by the many things that you have to do. You're going to keep struggling to find out how to navigate your life because you are not disciplined enough to subject your desires, your wills, your tendencies. You're not ready to discipline your tendencies to conform to where you want to be. You must have discipline. It is non-negotiable. The fourth element you need is focus. 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 Eyes on the goal, eyes on the direction, eyes on your path. You cannot achieve balance when you are busy looking around. You cannot achieve balance when you are here and there, when you're being dragged on all directions, when your attention is everywhere. No. You can only achieve balance when you are able to focus on what matters, on your goals, on where you are going. Focus. The fifth element of balance is patience. 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 It is very difficult. See, the process of finding balance in your life, the process of creating balance in your life is going to test you. But you have to be patient with yourself. You have to understand that this is not something that happens overnight. It is something that takes time, and you are willing to commit to the journey until you are able to achieve it. And once you do, you'll be grateful for it. Once you do, you will be very grateful for it. So be patient with your journey. Be patient with yourself. And the last one is empathy. Empathy, understand that you are human and it's okay to make mistakes. But what is not okay is remaining at where you flopped. So, those are the 6 elements that you need to create balance. The first one, clarity, will, discipline, focus, patience, and empathy. There are several others, but I don't want to go into detail, like just make it too broad. I'm bringing in the ones that are most necessary for us right now. Okay. So, how exactly do you create this balance? How exactly do you create this balance? Number one, what matters to you? When I talked about clarity, I asked you, what is most important to you right now? What phase are you in right now? As a Nigerian student, you are in school right now. That is your phase. And I'm stressing this because you're just coming out from ASU strike. So that switch has not yet happened. For someone like me, I was showing up every time online. But I'm understanding these days that I will not be able to show up as I have been showing up. It doesn't mean that I'm no longer consistent. It just means that priorities have changed because I don't want to fail my examinations. So, where are you now? What is your current phase? What is your current level? As a human in general, what is your current level? Because when you're able to know where you are, you can know how you can get to where you want to be. Okay? So, what matters to you? What are your priorities? What matters to you first? What are the things that matter to you? What are those activities that matter to you? Where are you now? What are those activities that matter to you? Take a pen and paper. This is as practical as you can get. Okay, if you have a pen and paper where you are, get it. If you don't, go and get it. What matters to you right now? Or when we are done, you can come back to the replay and do this exercise. It's going to help you. All right. What matters to you right now? Where are you right now? Where are you in your current journey as an individual, as a person, as a personal brand, as a student? Where are you? What are the things that matter to you as a person in general? When you're able to write them down, then the next question is, what are the ones that are most important right now? Do you get the question? What are the ones that are most important right now? When you're able to identify the one most important right now, do not ask yourself the third question. Which of them is pressing? Which of them is a pressing need? Which of them is a pressing phase? Which of them do I have to do that is time bound? Network is annoying. I'm so sorry, Esther. I'm so sorry. I can't help myself right now. And those of you watching the replay, I sincerely apologize for the network glitches. I hope that by the time we host the next conversation next Thursday, that I will have had maybe a solution or resolution to this, because I also am annoyed when network is not clear enough. Okay. So which of them is most pressing as a youth, as someone that has big dreams, as someone that is going somewhere, you have a personal brand that you're building, but you are now back to school. What is most important to you is your academics. I didn't understand this. Someone told me that some time ago. It's not that you're now in school, you have to um, pay most attention to your academics and all that. Even myself, I got angry at some point. I was like, oh, I should leave what I'm doing online to focus on my academics alone. Like, I've built a life before school. Should I leave that? I didn't understand the place of balance. I thought the person was telling me to abandon, my brand, but he was only talking about priorities, striking a balance, and that doesn't look like equality. Balance doesn't look like equality in any way. It's just prioritizing what matters. Right now, I have my examination, I have a test tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. In fact, let me even tell you how my day went. I woke up this morning, I did my meditation, did my morning routine, and for lectures. I was having lectures from 9 till past 12 to 1. Then I left lecture room to the library. That was where I was until some minutes to 6 p.m. I was reading all through. Some minutes to 6 p.m. And I had to leave that place to a tutorial. I was there at the tutorial center until 7:30 this night. But I knew that I need to come back and host this conversation. Yeah, if you notice, I was not active online today because I mean I have more pressing needs. My most important need right now is not to, hey, oh my God, all these adult stars, please, this is not the right place to come. So I had to pay attention to my academics today because of the test I have tomorrow. Like it would be stupid of me to continue creating content for social media, for my social media when my academic pursuit is lacking. And when I'm done, I had to come back. When I got back, I think it was some minutes past 8. I had to make food to eat. And while I was resting, I said, let me just have some time to rest. And then I slept off, only to wake up 3 minutes to 9. And I got ready to join this session. But I'm glad that I did not abandon what is most important to me. Thank you very much, Tosin. I'm glad that I did not abandon what is most important to me. Yeah, I have to show up here still because it is a brand that I'm building. But I'm not giving it all my time. It is not taking all, what will take all my time right now is my academics. As a student, I understand you want to build your business, you want to build your brand, but you also want to, more importantly, make your grades so that you don't have to come back to rewrite an examination that you would have written once, all in the name of building a brand. All of us on social media will sympathize with you. We won't even know what happened. We won't even care. We'll like, hey, yeah, and that is it. But then it is now your own cross to carry, to come back next year to write a course that you should have written at once and passed. I don't know if this is making sense to anybody. You have dreams, you have years, but this is a phase of your life right now, and it is most important that you give it the best of your energy because you're not going to be a student forever. I mean, I'm not going to be a student forever. In the next 5 years, I'm done. I'm done. But for this particular moment, today, this month and next month, I'm not doing any other thing seriously about building my brand. I've stopped receiving speaking engagements. Like I receive tons of them daily. But I told them, I'm sorry, I cannot honor your engagement because I have more pressing needs. So sorry about the video. I just keep apologizing for that, but I guess I have to stop because I'm not the owner of the network. Okay? If you can hear me, make use of what you can hear, or I would rather turn off the camera so that you can hear me alone and make use of it. The most important thing for me right now is not for you to see me, but you learn what you need to learn from this video and implement. Okay? So when you are able to write out the things that are most important to you, the things that matter to you, the most important ones, the most pressing ones, you're able to write them down. You take a pen and paper again and write them in descending order. In descending order, in the sense that the most pressing one has to be at the top, the second most pressing one will be below, the third. That is how you will go. So you know that this is where I'm focusing more of my energy on and not on frivolities. I don't know if you get me. Princess Chinelo, yes, the video is always here for you to watch. It's always here. All right. Now, when you have been able to identify those things that are really important to you, the next thing you want to do is to create a strategy. All right, create a strategy, because without a strategy, without a well thought out plan, you will not be able to achieve the balance that you seek or the stability that you seek. So create a strategy. How do I portion my time? How do I manage myself? How do I, because all we have 24 hours in a day. That is the truth. We all have 24 hours in a day. No matter how much you wish to increase the number of hours you have, it will not be enough. You cannot increase it. And even if you increase it to 30 hours in a day, it still will not be enough to you. So the most important thing is for you to learn how to manage yourself so that you can make effective use of your time. So create a strategy. How do I achieve this? What will my routine be? Someone like me, I'm very spontaneous, very spontaneous. I hate routines, but I've come to understand by myself. Nobody taught me. I had to sit myself down and tell myself, Chinaza, look, you need routines. You need to have a routine. You cannot wake up and not have your day thought out and planned out already. Some of you religious folks will be like, you plan and man plans and man proposes, God disposes. But have you proposed at all? Yeah, life is unpredictable. So you want to live your life like it's nothing? It's only animals that live that way. I'm still very spontaneous, but having a structured plan for myself and for my days have helped me a whole lot to be a lot more productive. It has helped me. So create a strategy. What are the actionable steps that I can take to get here? What will my daily routine be like? What will my morning routine be like? How many of you even have a morning routine? Not just about praying. What are the things that you do when you wake up in the morning to ensure that you're productive? Many of you don't have any. So have an effective morning routine. I suggest you go read the Miracle Morning or the 5 a.m. Club. These are books that can help you to structure your morning well in a way that benefits you and benefits your plans and your goals for your life. Okay, so create a routine, give credence to the most important tasks, to the most important parts of your life. And as a student, I cannot stop saying this, your academics is the most important aspect of your life, as it is. Maybe for me, maybe if I'm able to write my exams in December, maybe during the holiday, that is very brief, maybe 1 week or a few days, I can use that time to plan my brand better in a way that I can be effective in school and still be effective online. But the truth is that I have to come to terms with the fact that I cannot be as active as I was before because priorities have changed. I've entered a new season of my life. I don't know if this makes sense to anybody. You cannot show up the way you have been. If not, you'll fail, whether online or in your academics. And you cannot give both of them equal attention. You cannot. One has to win more than the other. So you choose for yourself whether you want to, do well in your academics or you want to do better in your brand. Anything that you do more of, you are taking that time away from something else, right? When you do more of social media, you are taking from your study time. When you do more of your study time, you're taking from your time on social media. But which one will be more advantageous for you and for where you are right now? Remember, I said it is about seasons and times, and this is your own season right now. Okay. The next thing you want to do is to identify your time wasters and cut them off. What are your time wasters? What are those things that eat up your time? What are those things that you do and you forget that time is moving? For so many of you, it is scrolling on social media or watching YouTube videos or Netflixing and chilling. What are your time wasters? This will require self-awareness. This will require self-awareness. You can even go to your phone and check utility. Is it utility? Device care, screen time. You're going to see the applications that you use more of. Many of you, it is your Facebook, your Instagram, your anything that is social. Those are the things that you use more of, and very little of the applications that improve your productivity. So identify your time wasters and structure your time. That's why I said it's not going to be easy, and you need discipline to achieve this. You need discipline. You need to be able to tell yourself, okay, from this time to this time. For someone like me with so many followers online, I receive lots of messages. And if I'm going to give more attention to my social media life, I'm going to spend all my days replying to messages, and they will not be, I will not even go halfway. So I've come to peace. Like I am now at peace, not replying every message. I have a couple of them waiting, and I'm not in a rush to reply them. Do you understand me? Because I have more important things to do. Everybody will be fine. Your brand will be fine. The people that you talk to are going to be fine. Even if I don't come on here on YouTube, you guys are going to be okay. It's just that this matters to me, but not at the expense of my academics. Yeah, I could use this time to study, but it doesn't matter. At this point, I needed rest from academic work because I've been on it all day till 8 o'clock or thereabout. So I needed time away from academic work, and that is why I'm okay doing this. So give time and credence to the most important things that are in your life. Identify your time wasters and cut them off. All right? Create time for leisure. This is very important because if you do only the productive work, at some point you start losing yourself to the work that you do, or to your academics, to building your brand, or to pursuing your goals and your dreams and your vision. Create time for leisure, create time for rest. I don't think I've told this story somewhere or anywhere online. Some time ago, I was to write an examination, and it was a particular subject I had issues with. So what I did was I gave my phone to a friend of mine and told her to leave me. No, I invited her to my room. She lives in a different place. I invited her over, gave her my phone, and told her, go with my phone and lock me inside here. Go with the key. I told her when to come back and open the door the next day. And I buried myself in books. I studied and studied and studied and studied. I studied for close to 26 hours non-stop. I was on that chair for as long as I could remember. I read and read. I was supposed to write the examination on a Friday, and I started studying on a Wednesday. I read and read and read and read. I had a little bit of rest on was it Thursday? A little bit of rest. And then I got back to studying again. I didn't sleep all through the night leading to the day of the examination. Like if any question I got, I ate all the questions like they were nothing. And I was very happy. When I got to the examination hall, do you know what happened? I forgot everything that I had read. I forgot everything. All the questions seemed very familiar. All of them seemed very, very familiar, but I could not answer them. I broke down and started in the hole. Why? Because I gave myself to too much study and I didn't give my brain enough time to rest. Your brain needs sleep. It needs you to rest so that it can recuperate the energy it is losing or it lost while you were reading. It needs glucose. Student, as a student, you need to create time for rest. Don't be like this would I say I sleep for only 1 hour. I sleep for just 2 hours in the night. It is not something to boast of. When you're able to structure your days well, when you're able to know, because this is very important, know the times that that your brain is most alert. Know the times that you do the best. Know the times that you comprehend that your brain is so open that you can comprehend easily and study within those periods. Understand the times that you need to take a break and the times that you don't need to take a break. Just understand yourself and work with your own pattern. But give yourself time for rest. Give your brain time for rest, time for leisure. When do you go out, play music, dance? For me, it is playing music and dancing or walking. Unilag has some beautiful views, so I just walk around. Which one is it for you? Okay? Prioritize spending time alone. It is very important that you must strike a balance between your academic life and your non-academic life. Learn to spend time alone. Many of us, we are afraid of alone time. We are afraid of isolation. Isolation is a gift. I heard that from a poem I listened to. Isolation is a gift. That is where transformation occurs. We like the noise of, I don't know, the hustle and bustle of life. We are afraid of being by ourselves. But until you learn to be by yourself, you will not know what you are capable of. That where alone is when you get ideas, when you learn more about yourself, when you create plans for your life, when you are attuned with yourself, when you even create time for God. Because you cannot leave the God factor out of here, right? So prioritize. Spend time alone, spend in silence, hear from God, hear from yourself, listen. All right. And the last thing that I have here to say is to be present for every part of your life. Be present. So as I'm talking to you right now, I know that I have something that I need to study because where I went for a tutorial is somewhere different from my faculty's tutorial. And part of what we're giving there was a test, a broadsheet test. And I tell you what, I had not seen those questions before. I had not seen the questions anywhere. I have a test tomorrow. So I need to actually go back and study. Because I was like, what have I been studying all this while now? I couldn't even answer 50% of the questions. So as I have some academic work to do. But I'm choosing to be present in this moment. This is what I'm focusing on. This is what is important to me right now. And so I'm focusing on it. When it's time to study, I'll remove everything about branding or whatever Chinaza Favour is. I'll focus on my studies. When it is time to play, I'm going to play like I don't even have any care in the world. When it's time to pray, I'm going to pray like I have not studied before. At every point in your life or every phase of your life that you're paying attention to, be present. Don't multitask. Don't be here and there. I know you will not be productive that way. Okay? Don't be here and there. Learn to focus, that power of focus. Why do you think laser cuts through virtually any surface? Because it is focused. All the beam is focused on one place, so it can do whatever you want it to do. So learn to focus as a student, because when you're able to find this balance, you'll see that, especially following a routine, having something to mark off or to check off your to-do list. It is very satisfying. You will not see yourself being under pressure to meet up with this and meet up with that and meet up with that. You already created a routine for yourself. You already created a study timetable for yourself. You already know what you want to achieve and how to go about it. So I have my alarm. I forget things easily. So I have my alarm. I just tell Siri to remind me or set an alarm for there, set an alarm for here, right? So that at every point I'm doing what I need to do. I'm not leaving out any part of my life, and I am less overwhelmed. I am less stressed. I'm less exhausted than I ordinarily would have been if I didn't have these structures in place. Okay, so that is where I'm going to end this conversation. I don't know if any of you has a question to ask. Please go ahead and ask. Did you learn something from here? Was it helpful? Don't forget, you didn't come here to watch me to talk or to watch me talk. Those exercises that I gave you, those questions I told you, I led you through, please endeavor to do them. How to create a balance. Because balance is not something that you find. I forgot to say this in the beginning. Balance is not something that you find, it is something that you create for yourself. It is not somewhere magical. No, you create it. It's intentional. It's a product of intentionality, balance. So you create it. You create an ecosystem that serves your purpose and keeps you stable mentally, so that you can function at your best, even as a student and as a brand builder. Okay. So I don't know if anybody has a question. It was an amazing time. I had a good time sharing those with you. I hope they were helpful. Thank you, Mr. Lucky Nathan. Glad you learned something from it. It was so much to take home. I'm going to send a message to you soon. Thank you very much. I'm glad you found it helpful. Any question before I go off? Any question? Any question? I didn't even think we were going to spend up to 1 hour here. Seems like I talk a lot. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. I'll try. I'll try. I'll try. Because since that experience that I had where I went to the examination hall, I didn't know what to write, even though I had studied. Since that time, I learned to sleep, even if it is for a few hours. I just give my brain the rest that it needs. David Okorie, is this your first time? I've not seen your name here. This is the first time. It was expository. I'm glad it was. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, it seems I don't have any question. I'm glad, because every teacher's aim is to answer his or her students' questions even before they ask. And I'm glad I did that tonight. So thank you very much for joining. Going to see you next week. Hey David, it's your first time. Emanuela, please give him first timers Zobo and Puff Puff. You're very welcome, and I hope it was worth your time. Thank you for joining Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. It's a pleasure to serve you and to host this with you. Thanks for being here. Don't forget, if you gain much value and you don't share, you're not doing your people any good and you're not doing me any good. So have you liked this video? Have you subscribed? If you haven't, please do so. If you're watching the replay, please do well to comment. And if you have any question, don't forget to comment too. Do well to comment. I'll try to respond at my earliest convenience. Okay, thank you, great Nigerian students. I wish you success in your examinations. I wish you good success in your academics, in everything that you do, even as you show up online, the little ways that you can. Just be kind to yourself and understand that it's just a phase, right? It's just a phase, but I'm going to do the most that I can. That's why I asked a question on my Facebook the other day. I said, given the circumstances around you right now, I know that your hands are tied, but is this really all that you can do? So you try to do the most that you can do at every point of or in your life, so that you are satisfied that you actually do something or you're actually doing something worth doing. So if it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. All right, don't shortchange yourself in the name of excuses or this and that. Just know that okay, this is what is more important to me, but this other part of me doesn't have to suffer. So how do I balance it out? Not give equal energy, but how do I balance it out? How many times do I have to show up online? Because I mean, it's a new season for me, right? So thank you, thank you, thank you. Do with this information whatever you will. And I hope that you turn out a lot more productive than you already are. Have a wonderful night's rest. I remain your host, Chinaza Favour, and this is Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. I'll see you next week, same time, same channel, 9 p.m. for another wonderful session. Okay? Bye.